friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Blades of Exile. We have gained passage through the Palace of Koth, but we appear to be at a dead end. Or are we? You pass through the illusionary wall north of Koth's fortress, the wall he counted on to keep his fortress hidden. As you move through, however, something strange happens. A black cat hops up in my lap. The spell Koth cast on you when you paid him finally has its effect. Your mind's reel, and you stumble forward. Memories twist, fade, and fall from you. You try to think about Koth, but it becomes harder, and you stumble again, and... That's odd. What were you thinking about? Something about a dragon? That's odd. You didn't meet any dragons. You've just emerged from the za-khazi run. But why are you standing with your backs to this wall? Well, no matter. Victory is almost yours! You have done what few ever thought possible. You have made it through the za-khazi run. Now you need to find Fort Cavalier. Okay, so that happened. Also, I had a thought at some point. I should give this assassin's knife to Fluttershy, because it is lightweight, always poisoned, significantly lighter weight than the steel rapier, and if I'm concerned about Fluttershy's ability to carry all the stuff, giving her a smaller but still deadly weapon could be a good idea. Oh, hey, another passage. The floor in this secluded cave is strewn with rubble and bones. Fresh bones. As often happens during a war, predators and scavengers have taken up residence. And considering the size of the tracks, the scavengers here are pretty big. I should save. Okay, so is there anything actually in here? Hello. Oh, that's my time limit. You are only given 3 weeks to reach Fort Cavalier. You're very close to running out of time. If you don't complete the za-khazi run in the next day or two, all may be lost. Best hurry. Aha, here we go. You come across the party of scavengers. They aren't your ordinary bottom feeders. They're drakes, creatures powerful enough to stake a claim in this wild area, and greedy enough to take all the armor and weapons of the fallen. Aha, not just drakes, drakes and a drake lord. This could be a tough fight. Let's get my blessing on. Oh, I'm within curse range of 1 drake. Lovely. Granted, the drakes are probably not bothered at all about fire damage, so that might have just been a waste of 10 spell points. Flaming sword being the exception as always. So most of my best damaging spells are fire-based. I can also summon more friends. I could cast Shock Storm for small damage over time. What the heck? Since I just saved recently, let's see if Mind Duel does anything. Mind Duel has very short range. I forgot about that. Okay, so current spell points 59. didn't do so well on that. Actually, Pestilence might just be worth casting here. All of you are now diseased, haha. And you're all slowed. Also, I should do any monster scrying. Okay, Drake has a big pile of health points, a big pile of magic points. 4th level mage spells, magic resistant, immune to fire, I was right about that. Sorry, Ruby Skeleton. And of course the Drake Lord is going to be even more powerful. Resisting poison. How dare. Oh my lord! The Drake Lord starts off with roughly 1,000 hit points. And a lot of magic points. 5th level mage spell and 7th level priest spell. Immune to fire, magic resistant, poison resistant. Oh boy. This might take a little while. I can cast Anti-Magic Cloud to turn the spell casting off for a bit. I don't know if that affects their fire breath. Here, have some more targets. And Curse All can be more effective than Bless Party if you're using a bunch of summons and want them to be able to hit the enemies at all. Wall of Force or Wall of Ice could work. Though... Anti-magic field could impair my ability to use offensive spells. So, Fluttershy, you just sit tight. Now, seems like they can still breathe fire on me even when they're in the anti-magic cloud. Hehe, Drake Lord webbed. So I can still target you if only half of your body is covered by anti-magic. And why waste targets? Actually, casting protection might be worthwhile. It only makes one person immune to all damage, but magic resistance could be a good thing here. I think I might just have gotten enough layers of web on the Drake Lord to make it so that he can't move. Should I make Twilight immune, invulnerable, or Fluttershy? Oh, Twilight doesn't actually have any invulnerability potions right now. That's fine. That's definitely fine. The bigger problem is that Twilight no longer has enough spell points to do much of anything. Okay, Drake Lord is no longer paralyzed. This fight may require some better strategy. Or perhaps some better luck. This one only gives me 3 drakes. Also, somebody should perhaps be wearing that ruby charm, if they're likely to get fire breathed on them. Also, I keep forgetting that Dash actually has archery skill and bolts. Get as many critters in melee range as possible. With the cursing and the slowing. Okay. I think I'm going to focus on the drakes first. Now then. I just remembered that I can use multiple arrow spell targets on creatures that have more than one tile size. I feel like I explained that badly, but you saw what I was doing. Drake Lord poisoned times 4. Ah yeah, I guess Fluttershy doesn't get as many targets. That's fine. Better than nothing. Cur Web. And let's see if maybe I get something a little more useful than a bunch of cockroaches. A bunch of sliths, that's okay. I doubt that Charm is going to work on the drakes. But good old Wound spell usually does. Not entirely sure death arrows are worth it. Okay, death arrows aren't worth it when I can't see half my targets because of the webbing. Oh, that's brilliant, Twilight. Yay! Escaped damage! Not that bad. I forget that the prehistoric rats have ludicrous amounts of health. Well, that does get one of my allies. That gets AJ, but she can take it. Ice isn't doing a lot of damage, but not as many creatures are immune to ice compared to the ones that are immune to fire. I never did find Shockwave in any of these 3 scenarios. I missed Shockwave. There, now the rat's out of the way. And Rarity's out of spell points. That's fine. I'm just curious how far I've beaten you down. pretty far. Only about 300 as opposed to 1,000 hit points. Should I haste everyone again? Sliths are surprisingly effective against the Drake Lord at the moment. When they cost the same, do Major Blessing, instead of merely Major Haste. He's finally dead. Behold my power! Oh, and all of the Drake summons are gone. Ooh, Magic Helm. Also unidentified axe and spear. Could be good, not sure if I care. You find something the Drake scavenged nearby. A beautiful broadsword. Also unidentified. I'm going to save my game again, just in case I run into any more Drakes. No? Good, good. I think maybe this path will connect up. Yeah, I could have gone around another way here, I think. Here you can get your last look at the river you've been trying, with uneven success, to follow for the last 200 miles. It sedately flows by you, out of the run and into the lower caverns. Okay, so I think this might actually be a shortcut if you're willing to brave the Drake fight. You detect a peculiar scent as you hike down this long gallery. A peculiar, sweet, comforting, familiar scent. So comforting, in fact, that it makes you very nervous. There's poppy shrooms ahead. A lot of them. But we have the mushroom charm, so I'm not actually worried. See? Not falling asleep even a little. And, yeah, almost out of time to reach Fort Cavalier. We're close, it's fine. Your path is not clear. You can see a za-khazi scouting party ahead. A large one. There's dozens of warriors, sitting around a fire and eating something unpleasant. Several others keep watch, and a few are studying spellbooks. They haven't seen you yet, but if you're going to continue down this passage, you're going to have to fight for it. It'll be an ugly battle. So apparently I get a choice between walking through poppy shrooms or walking through large slith battle. Considering how well I did on the other large lizard battle. Sure enough, they see you in plenty of time to grab their weapons and prepare. Ah, darn, I was hoping to ambush them. They look fully confident of victory against your small group, but not so confident that they're going to make any mistakes. So, many warriors, 2 archmages, and a chief. The archmages are the only ones I'm really worried about. Speaking of the archmages, where? Oh, you're way in the back. Sensible. Should probably set up some form of defensive line here. Spray fields could be interesting. I've never used that. So spray fields will throw out a variety of flame clouds, webs, stinking cloud, force field, and ice wall. Okay then. Okay, for a second there I thought I had major summon, which could be fun. I will double down on the cursing. I will really wish I had Wall of Blades. Mass Charm could get a lot of friends on my side. It could also get slightly confusing. Also costs sort of a lot of spell points. I'll hold off. Double Ruby Skeleton. Okay, Slith Warriors are sort of bricks of health. Let's get a cat joining me again. If I cast another wall spell, is that going to just overwrite the existing ones? It looks like they can overlap. Thanks for killing some of your buddies for me, I guess? But yeah, I really should take out the Archmages first. Archmage undamaged. What do I have to do to get archery effective in this game? What the heck? So that charmed a few warriors. Now I can't use my fireball type spells, but maybe I won't need to. They just summoned 4 demons on me. This fight just went sideways. Wait. I charmed a Slith Archmage? So wait, that means half of these demons are friendly. This fight just went very weird. Okay, so I still have 2 unfriendly demons. Huh. Well then, Okay, seriously, who thought that letting demons summon more demons would be a good idea? 3 friendly demons, that is ridiculous. Yeah, Twilight's nearly out of spell points, so I might just have her run around and snipe whoever she can. Meanwhile, I need healing. Are all of the unfriendly Sliths dead now? Oh my, I think they might be. What a ridiculous fight this is. You know what? Twilight's at full health. This will be fine. If she can manage to hit anything. Okay, so a summon killed another summon, and then one of my characters leveled up. Okay, then. I just have to survive long enough for the demons to either die or disappear. How many revives can I cast? 2. Just what I need. I mean, technically Dash is in pretty dire straits here, but... Okay, one down. Why are you blessed? Oh yes, continue doing useless summons. Finally. Ooh, Fire Orb Necklace. Wand of Flame. Could sell for a bit. Ooh, Arrows of Light. Yes, please. I will take Mystery Javelins. I will take Weak Invulnerability Potion for sure. And nothing else is interesting. That was so silly. Yet another obstacle overcome. Yet another group of foes dispatched. And or brainwashed. You're getting very tired, and time keeps getting shorter and shorter. You hope you're not that far from your goal. Yeah, small reminder there that time does pass while you're in battle. At last, your goal is before you. Fort Cavalier looms in the path above you. Even now, you can hear the distant roars of battle. Smoke rises from the ramparts, and you see the glow of hostile spells. The way for you is clear. The Slith za-khazi are mainly attacking the front of the fort. The rear approach is unguarded. You can make your delivery at last. Oh! But first, one more tiny bit of exploration. And wasting some time going over rubble. Well, there could be something hiding in the middle of these rocks. It would take some significant finding if there is, though, and I don't feel like spending time on that. So I have, against all odds, managed to reach Fort Cavalier just a little before the deadline. As you arrive at the fort, the guards at the south wall raise a cheer and open the gate for you to enter. You aren't here a moment too soon. You can hear a massive battle going on at the north gate. So I maybe shouldn't waste time exploring, but then again, I am at the fort, so, plot flags probably won't be flipped while I'm inside of it. And of course I could just magic map, but why would I do that when I am free to walk around? When you enter Fort Cavalier, Commander Malak, leader of the besieged fortress, immediately runs up, greets you, and relieves you of your bundle of wands. The straps around the wands obligingly snap open, and the wands are passed around. As Commander Malak shouts, "Fire them carefully, there won't be any more!" 3 of them are taken up to the ramparts. As the Sliths below pepper the walls with javelins, the guards return fire. From beyond the wall, you hear the screams of surprised Sliths as massive firestorms and shockstorms rain down, causing major casualties and breaking their momentum. Soon, the battle is over. The Sliths flee to regroup, and the guards cheer. For the first time in weeks, Fort Cavalier gets a respite. A guard eventually approaches you and says, "Commander Malak would like to see you in his quarters when you have the time." But first, more exploration. So it looks like a secret passage in here, but maybe not. You climb the stairway to the north walls and look out over the carnage. A few 100 feet away, hundreds of Sliths camp, planning the next assault. Below the walls, many bodies, some fresh, some rotten, are piled up. The north wall is cracked and scarred by the impacts of dozens of fireballs, and blood is splattered everywhere. That Fort Cavalier withstood this much punishment and remained standing is truly a miracle. Probably will not be able to leave out the north side. You walk up to the north gate and look at the wheel you could use to open them. When you do, guards run up to you. "Don't open those!" a captain yells. "Do you want to let the Sliths in on us all?" They tell you to back away, and you oblige. "Don't open those. The developer hasn't put anything on the other side of this fort." Oh, dead room. And of course we're not going to loot bodies from our own side. What kind of monster do you think I am? You meet a tired-looking priestess. She's patrolling the fort, looking for someone who's been wounded. When she sees you, however, she runs up to you, pleased to meet the saviors of Fort Cavalier. "I am Janice, Mother Janice. Welcome. I do healing for this fortress. I'm required to charge for healing for visitors, but I can give you a very reasonable rate if you're ill." Yeah, I can heal damage for extremely cheap. Not really necessary anymore, but don't mind if I do. No, of course. It seems terrible, I'm sure, charging for healing, However, we have to if we're going to get supplies. She chuckles dryly. Since Exile can't get supplies to us, we have to sneak groups out through the secret exit and buy supplies from passing Nephilim and other creatures. Painful situation. I wish I could have stayed a teacher. You're interested? Come with me. She pulls you aside and explains a remarkable ritual to you. You can now cast the spell Wall of Blades. Ho ho ho! I'm glad I kept poking at your dialogue. Emergency exit. Seems they don't use it that much. You find a long secret passage leading out of the fortress and back towards civilization. It will take you past the Slith lines, and from there you can go to Darman, the nearest Exile city. Your mission has been triumphantly completed. Do you go back to Exile? Of course I didn't just hit the wrong button. Why would you think that? Let's wait to leave the scenario. And Garnet, you will have to wait a little bit longer for your dinner, okay? Some emergency food supplies as well. Commander Malak. Sort of feel like I should see you last, but I walked into this building first, so whatever. You doubt you've ever met a person who looked so thankful to see you. When you enter his chambers, Commander Malak leaps to his feet to shake your hand. The last few weeks have been hard on him. He's probably about 30, but looks much older. I am Commander Malak. I could not be more pleased to meet you. I'm leading the defense of Fort Cavalier against the Sliths. Thanks to you and the Wands, we actually have hope now. He grins. It's a rough place, built in haste, with half the fighters it should have. Yet we've held up half of the Slith army for months. How about that? Impressive. Don't get me wrong, I actually have no problem with the Slith za-khazi in general. Several of them fought by my side during the war with the Empire. Nobler warriors I've never had the honor of fighting with. There were 15 wands, all strong. Fire blasts, shock storms, one for charming, and all with extra charges. Used carefully, they'll keep us going for weeks. He laughs. That reminds me, you deserve to be rewarded, and you probably want to return to Exile. Yeah, so, wands with extra charges, very cool. You'll get your gold when you return to Exile. Also, be sure to speak with people around the fort. Many of them are very eager to help you. He points at the chest near his desk. We also have something extra for you in there. Yay! This fort has a concealed tunnel leading out. It's in a shed at the east side. Go out through there. From there, he gives you instructions to get back to civilization. And the chest contains a breastplate. Do I have enough space to even carry such a thing? Maybe I'll come back to that. I need to see if there's any identification and selling of stuff I can do in here. If all else fails, I can always just cast the Identify spell. Okay, mess hall. And a mage. This dangerous-looking woman is pacing around the dining hall, reading a spellbook and memorizing spells. When she sees you, however, she smiles and bows. Looks like you're finally getting some respect. I am Veronica. Respects to you. I am Fort Cavalier's mage. Its only mage. They've been doing this all with one mage. Yipe. That's one of the reasons why we've had so much trouble defending the fort, and why we needed the wands you sent so badly. If we wanted a fireball, I had to cast it, and I can only do that so many times in a day. By the way, in return for your help, there's a spell I would like to teach you. Veronica takes you aside for a moment and teaches you some magical rituals. You can now cast the spell Major Summoning. We were about to get 2 more mages, then the siege hit. Cut off, we were stuck with minimal magical support. Magic can't be more important when defending a place like this. Pretty extensive barracks. I will search the dressers. Oh, goody, a lamp. And a candle. Truly worth exploring. Although no sage types. Ah, but you're a quartermaster. You might buy my extra stuff. You meet the 4th quartermaster. You don't expect to meet people this old at the front. His armor is weighing him down, and he looks very tired. The folks here call me Silver, on account of the color of the hair I got left. I look after the supplies we got, what little we got, and I obtain newer stuff when I can. We've been conserving all our stuff during the siege, but things are getting low. The wands you brought us should make all the difference. Thanks. Yeah, you can sell me things. I got money that the commander gave me to buy us new stuff. And if you don't know what your things are, I can identify them. I've been doing this so long, I can tell what about anything is. Ooh, and very cheap prices for identification. Only 2 gold apiece. He looks over your supplies and says, I'll tell you what all your stuff is. Only 2 gold each. For my trouble. Magic broadsword, nice. Picked up a bronze breastplate from somewhere. Regular javelins. Okay, didn't actually have that much unidentified stuff. Here, have a steel slith spear and some extra armor. And a steel broadsword. And that too. And another steel broadsword, because I am just swimming in swords. Where I got crystals, I don't know anymore. Pretty sure I don't need an iron shield. Definitely don't need a ruby. Okay. Now let's go see about that breastplate over here. Not over here, over here. Of course it's not identified. Well, I can spend either 50 spell points or 2 gold. Magic breastplate, okay. Compared to the magic studded, same bonus, a little more encumbrance, and significantly higher base defense. Not bad. But there's basically nothing left for us to do here. So with our mission accomplished, let's go back to Exile proper. The passage stretches for about 2,000 feet and deposits you well away from Slith lines. From there, you maneuver your way through neutral territory. A few close escapes and minor skirmishes later, you return to Exile territory. The Exile army gives you 3,000 gold for your services, and throw in a pretty medal as well. Even better, you get the satisfaction of knowing that you've made a difference for the better. Fort Cavalier holds. It easily fends off the Slith za-khazi until reinforcements are able to fight their way there some weeks later. Without your help, the fort would have fallen for sure. The outcome of the war is still in doubt, but Exile has won a major victory, and they have you to thank for it. The end. Yay! Congratulations, you've just completed this scenario. If you want, you can save your adventurers now before returning to the starting screen. If you have any items stored, you can get them back when you start the next, assuming you actually remember where you stored them. I don't think I have anything stored, though. But I will save that. So now, the next time I load up this party into a scenario, I'm sure I will have lots and lots of skill points to spend on training. Because indeed, I will be returning to the za-khazi run. I've showed off quite a bit, but not quite all it has to offer. Until next time, have a good one and take care, everybody.